Welcome back to From the Shed End. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. I did say we were going to have the review of this game. Yeah, what a game. What a performance. What a performance from Chelsea. What a performance. What a performance. We needed to do that. We needed to dominate the game. Yeah, before we get into it, before we do our usual, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you like this video. You leave your thoughts in the comments, and also make sure you hit that Linktree link in the description as well. That will take you to all the social accounts and our podcasts. The audio version of the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts is available now as well. But what a performance. It was a hard game. We made that game. We actually made more hard work of it than it needed to be. Really good performances from us. Still a lot we need to talk about in terms of our defense and goalkeeper issues. But let's try and start with some positive things. Let's start with the positives first of all. Let's dive straight into our lineup that we went with. I should have said before, anyone that's joining this, if you're joining live, make sure you like the live, make sure you get involved in the live stream as well. In fact, for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, we're talking about Newcastle 1, Chelsea 2, Stamford Bridge. Really good performance. Puts us back, as we're recording right now, back into the top 4. So, yeah, as long as we can get a draw through Arsenal, Liverpool, that will help us. But yeah, let's try and dissect what happened today, because there was a couple of things that I was shocked to. Obviously, let's talk about the lineup first of all. We had Robert Sanchez in goal. Now, I did say that Jurgensen for me would be the goalkeeper that I would start with. I would have had Jurgensen in goal. I feel like he's more comfortable, just more comfortable with the ball. His distribution is a lot better. Even today, we got to see that Sanchez, even without the pressure of, Anthony Gordon and Isak, didn't really cause too much of a threat apart from the goal. There wasn't really much threat from Newcastle, but still Sanchez looked very uncomfortable, distributing that ball out to our defenders and to our midfielders. And it just doesn't feel right that we've got someone that was third choice at Brighton in goal. Really good shot stopper. I don't think anyone is saying that Sanchez is not a good shot stopper, because he is. He's a really good goalkeeper. I just think he's one of those goalkeepers that worries me. Every time he's got the ball, you're not sure what he's going to do with it. It wasn't as bad as it was against Liverpool last weekend, but it was still signs today. Even in the distribution, it just wasn't there for Sanchez. But we started with Sanchez in goal. I say all that to say that we started with Sanchez in goal. Now, I was shocked because when the lineup came out, I thought Malo Gusto would be playing on left back and Reece James would be playing in his natural position as a right back. It never actually happened to be the case of that. We went with Malo Gusto right back, which is understandable. We then went with Reece James as the left back. Now, I'm going to talk about Reece James in a minute. We went with Levi Colwill and we went with Wesley Fofana as our centre-backs. We went with Caicedo. We went with Lavia as our 2 in midfield. We then went with, let's move these forward a little bit. We then went with Pedro Neto, who deserved his opportunity today and played really well. I think he felt quite difficult, maybe because I've always known Pedro Neto to play on the left. Maybe I'm wrong for that when he was at Wolves, but he's always played on the left that I can remember. I know that Enzo Maresca has said he wants him to play more on the right side for us in that 3 in the attack, but he played really well today. Neto, really impressive. And we had Cole Palmer in the 10, Jackson as our striker, and we went with Noni Madueke, who I thought was a bit off the pace today. I don't know if it was just another game, maybe that he's played maybe 1 or 2 many games at the moment. Obviously got a rest at the Conference League, but it didn't really look like he was out of the 4. When we talk about Jackson, Neto, Palmer, and Madueke, I would probably say that Noni Madueke was the least favourable out of those 4 going forward. But what we did get to see with this lineup today was, let me bring this over here so I can do this properly. What we got to see today was all of this. This worked amazingly today. Fafana, who I think will wake up tomorrow and realize he's gonna have a knee like a balloon tomorrow because he took a really he went in for a challenge. I can't remember if it was Tonali or Joe Linton. He went in with a tackle with in the first half, and his knee. I thought, yeah, he's done. But he carried on. Credit to him, he's carried on throughout the game. Stayed on for the 90 minutes, managed to pick up a yellow card for the foul as well. But we saw a lot of this today. We saw a lot of Caicedo and Lavia and James just doing this. Cole Palmer, because of Newcastle, the way that Newcastle were playing, they were having to put a lot more bodies in that midfield, which meant that Cole Palmer could just do this. Cole Palmer was just, where do you want me? Where's the ball? I'm going to gravitate towards the ball. I'm going to make those spaces. And then it allowed Neto, it allowed Madueke to do what they wanted to do here. Madueke had the free reign here. Gusto again was just all over the place doing what he needs to do. You know, putting in those kind of, I seen on Twitter, I think it was Eunice, shout out to Eunice. I seen, you know, someone said he was playing like a 2015, 2016 Branislav Ivanovic today. He was everywhere. He was doing his defensive duties. He was also doing his attacking duties down here as well. So I was really impressed with Malo Gusto. I was impressed with Wesley Fofana, who I didn't have in the lineup to start off with. Pure and simply because I felt that Badia Shield was going to be a better option going forward. But look, we looked really good, really comfortable with the ball in possession. Now I do have to say all of that to say this, which I don't want to do, but I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it. But the defense for us today was really, really poor again. Really, really, really poor. Really poor in spells because. Not because Newcastle caused us any issues or anything like that, but just in terms of the possession that we had on the ball. And when we lose possession, we're almost at 6s and 7s and just don't really know. We're like deer in headlights moments where we don't really know what's going on. And had we come up against Liverpool again today, or I don't know, Man City, you know, a team that's on par with us or better than us, I really think we would have been opened up today because sometimes when you look at our midfield, you know, Lavia I thought played really well. Again, Caicedo I thought played really good in the midfield. But it's so easy sometimes to play through us. You know, to play through that midfield is so easy. And I think when you've got Caicedo and Lavia in that midfield, it's almost like our defense has to be switched on. They have to be switched on because if one of those two in that midfield lose the ball or Reece James is playing inverted and you've only got Fofana, Colwell and Malo Gusto as the defenders, that ball over the top is always on. It's always going to be on. And Gusto, Fofana and Colwell are always going to be chasing back to a striker, whether it's Isak, Gordon, whoever. You know, I know Gordon never played today, but whoever it is, you know, could be Doku for City or whoever. They're always going to get the opportunity to flick that ball over the top and it's always going to be on because of how we're playing. So I looked at it today and I thought that's got to be, I kind of, it made sense having Reece James at left back today. I was a bit sort of raised eyebrows when I seen it at first and I thought, that doesn't make any sense to me, but it made sense when you got to see how much possession and the control of the midfield, the domination in that midfield was there to see clearly. So it made sense to have Reece James there. It allowed Caicedo to get a little bit more forward as well at times. It allowed Lavia to do the same when he had the opportunity to do so. And again, you know, we've got to remember, we've got to manage Reece James's minutes accordingly as well. He's coming back from a massive injury. He's missed a lot of football. So I think even playing him today at left back was probably more suitable than playing him at right back, which, you know, Malo Gusto, we know he's done really well. Didn't realise though, Malo Gusto has not scored a goal in his career ever. That's crazy because he's sort of a player that you would expect at least to get 1 or 2 goals a season. So hopefully he breaks that duck with Chelsea. But let's talk about some of the other things in the game as well, because I was really, I mean, we saw Nicholas Jackson today. I mean, Cole Palmer, the goal that was offside. Was it offside? I think it was a right call from the referee. VAR got that right. I think it was an offside goal. But Nicholas Jackson, a player that me personally, I can come on here and say that I have criticized Nicholas Jackson a lot. but he's proving me right every time I criticize him because he's proven now that he's a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer. That he's working on things. You can clearly see that he's working on his game. He's feeling a bit more comfortable in front of goal, and things are working for him in front of goal. And there is still a question mark about Christopher Nkunku. Should he be starting ahead of him? I still think that's there, but every time Nicholas Jackson scores a goal, he's proving why he should be the number 9 at Chelsea at the moment. And that's the only thing we can ask for from a number 9. We can only ask for him to score goals. Whether he wants to trap back, defend, all the rest of it, I don't really care about. As long as you're scoring the goals, I don't care about anything else that Nicholas Jackson does. So I'm really, really impressed with him. You know, last weekend we got to see it against a really good centre-back partnership in Van Dijk and Ibrahim Konate. And today we got to see him against Fabian Schär, who was, again, another really good defender. And we also got to see him against Dan Burn. 2 dirty players for Newcastle. We're going to get onto them in a minute. But, you know, we were really, really good to see Nicholas Jackson get on the score sheet, you know, take his goal really, really well. We got to talk about the pass from Cole Palmer, because Cole Palmer, I remember, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to name names, but there was a couple of people on my WhatsApp that were saying to me, Cole Palmer isn't that good. He's just not that good. He's not going to make it at Chelsea. There's a reason why Man City are getting rid of him. He's just an average player. The pass today from Cole Palmer is not one to be overlooked at all. There's not many players in the Premier League, in Europe, in the world right now that could play the pass that Cole Palmer played to Neto for that goal for Nicholas Jackson today. There isn't many. There's not many. Anyone that's on the live stream now, anyone that's listening, watching now live, if you're not watching live and you're watching afterwards, please drop your thoughts in the comments, because I need to know who is making that pass in today's game, in today's football. Who is making that pass, that Cole Palmer, the weight of the pass, the timing of the pass, the run from Neto, the goal, and even Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson still has a lot to do. It looks like a really easy tap-in. It's not. Because the speed of the ball in from Neto, from the pass from Cole Palmer to Neto, Neto makes a brilliant run and crosses in from the left. That is still a lot of work for Nicholas Jackson to ensure that that goes on target. If you go back and watch United's game today, Diego Dalot has exactly the same opportunity as Nicholas Jackson and skies it over the bar. It is not an easy goal to score. You've got to make sure you get the right connection with your foot. It looks like a tapping, but it's not. But Nicholas Jackson, for me, now he's showing why, you know, the trust has been in him since Maurizio Pochettino has been involved in our, you know, when he was here as manager. And now we're seeing the fruits of his labor. They're coming through. You know, it's looking really good for Nicholas Jackson. Really, and some of the things he does off the ball as well. You know, some of the things he's doing off the ball. Bring up my little thing again. Let's bring up the lineup again. Let's bring up the lineup again, because we're kind of need to show. So when Palmer's got the ball here, right, and he's driving in, Nicholas Jackson, sometimes you'll find that when we haven't got the ball, we tend to be here like this. You know, we kind of play our wingers here. You know, Palmer picks up the ball here. Nicholas Jackson, you'll expect the centre-backs to be here. The 2 centre-backs will be there for Newcastle. Nicholas Jackson is about here, right? The ball today that Palmer set up, yeah, and was amazing. And the ball in to the box was about here. I don't know if this is exactly correct, but the players that I'd assume were involved or ready to latch onto that ball would either be Caicedo or Lavia. Palmer would have been running into that box as well, I'd assume. The ball in from Neto, and Jackson here just bangs that ball into the net. And as I said, that is not an easy goal to score at all. Now, what I liked about Jackson today was not only was his attacking options really good, his defensive options were really good. Because when we don't have the ball, like I said, you know, Palmer kind of sits in there as well, sits here on the halfway line, like he did last week as well against Liverpool. But Jackson is almost waiting. He's waiting for the opposition to make a mistake, and he's ready to pounce. And that's what a true striker does. They're ready to pounce. They're ready to take the ball and do something with it, try and score a goal, create a chance or something. And he done that today really, really well, Nicholas Jackson. So we have to credit him. You know, I know I said personally that, in fact, I did have Nicholas Jackson in the lineup for the before the game, but I still think there's a role for Christopher Nkunku in this team. There's an argument to say against Manchester United next weekend. Do we drop Noni Madueke, put Cole Palmer to the right, put Christopher Nkunku in the 10? There's a shout for that. There is a shout for that because I look at Madueke today and I wasn't entirely convinced by him. I'll be honest. I wasn't convinced by Noni Madueke today. I was not convinced by him at all. I felt like he just looked a bit rusty. And I don't know if that's because he didn't play on Thursday, but yeah, Noni Madueke didn't really fill me with joy. But we've got to talk about Newcastle's goal, because if you know what I've been talking about on this channel all week I've been talking about defensive issues, defensive mistakes, not being able to play out from the back, leadership, needing someone like John Terry to coach these defenders, and today proved that, because that goal that went in for Newcastle today was avoidable again. I think Sanchez can do better. I think Reece James can do better and track back that run. He has to track that run, Reece James. Even though he's playing at left back, that's not an excuse. You have to track that run. You have to track the run, because you can see that. You can see what's happening. You're on the other side of where the action's taking place. The ball comes in. You have to track that run and intercept the ball. You've got to do that as a defender. Because if you don't, mistakes going to happen. We already know that Sanchez is not a reliable goalkeeper. I'm trying to think who got the assist for Newcastle's goal. Lewis Hall, of all players, Lewis Hall gets the assist. But you've got to track that run. Reece James has to track that run. And this is what I mean about defensively. We can score all the goals we want, make the be creative in front of goal and all the rest of it. But when we don't do things like track our runners, defend well, intercept the ball, it kind of takes away a bit of the good stuff that we do. And I think that's where we go wrong as a club. But look, we've got to get that right. We have to talk about Wesley Fofana with the knee injury as well. I think, as I said, credit him for playing on. But, those kind of things have to be stamped out. Now, there were two issues in the game before we talk about the winning goal. Dan Burn, I personally felt it was at least a red card, yellow card at least on Noni Madueke in the first half. I felt like he kind of held onto his arm. It should have been a yellow card for me. But then what was interesting was, I think in the second half, Noni Madueke held on to, I can't remember who it was, but he got a booking for it. He got a booking for the same incident again. But also, sorry, let me go back to the Isak goal, because the Isak goal, I felt there was an offside with Isak in the first bit of the build-up of that play. There was a bit of an offside, I felt personally. But, the refs didn't see that. He wasn't involved in the build-up play. The ball comes in, he's onside when the ball comes in, so I can see that. But VAR's got to sort things out, man. The offside rule needs to be changed. It's not really clear, is it, what the offside rule is? So, Cole Palmer. I don't know what Enzo Maresca does at halftime. But whatever he does, it's working, because he goes into that dressing room at Stamford Bridge or wherever. He gives his team talk, and we come out like a new team. Like we're ready, we're fighting, and we've missed that. I joke about it, but we've really missed that as Chelsea fans. We've missed having someone to come into this team and actually deliver a message to these players, a bunch of young players. We've missed having someone to come in and do that, and Enzo Maresca seems to be doing it really, really well. So I'm really happy for Enzo Maresca. I'm happy, Cole Palmer, I think it was 120 seconds, just less than that. Brilliant play from us. Cole Palmer running towards goal with the ball. Now, Fabian Schär, who's already on a yellow card, I don't know if he thought about that, whether he thought, I'm already on a yellow, I don't want to commit myself and get myself sent off. But as a Newcastle fan, I'd be so annoyed that my defender doesn't close down that space before Cole Palmer takes a shot. And Nick Pope, I said on Twitter, Nick Pope, you dope, you've got to do better, because you can't get beaten by that shot. It wasn't even a really good shot from Cole Palmer. It's just a good bit of running towards the goal. It was nothing special from Cole Palmer, but it was an outstanding performance from Cole Palmer throughout the whole game. But yeah, Nick Pope has to do better. Fabian Schär has to do better. I know we got booked early in the game, but those are the sort of performances where we see the game out. We look very comfortable in possession. We dominated the game, performance dominated. We're fourth currently. We still need, now if Arsenal don't win their game, which they're kicking off in about 4 minutes, if they don't win that game, or Liverpool win, which, I'd rather take a draw. Liverpool, if we get a draw, Liverpool go on 22 points. Arsenal leapfrog us just by 1 point. So realistically, we know we're not winning the league this season. We're not winning the league. So ideally, let's hope for a Liverpool win, Arsenal lose, we stay in top 4. I think that's my best solution to this next game that's about to come on. But I'm going to wrap up there. It was only I just wanted to quickly jump on and share my thoughts. I thought Cole Palmer was amazing. I thought Lavia was amazing. Caicedo again was amazing. We got to rest someone like Jadon Sancho, Badia Shield, Mikhailo Mudryk got a couple of minutes that I thought he deserved after the Panathinaikos game as well. So we got to see some really good changes from Maresca. He's utilising his squad really, really well. The rotation seems to be working for us. So I'm really impressed with Maresca. I'm impressed that we got the win today, 3 points. Let's hope this continues. We've got United next week in the Premier League. We've got Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. We'll be covering all of that on his channel. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe, like this video, leave your thoughts in the comments. And as I said at the start of this, make sure you hit that Linktree link in the description as well. And until next time, I'll be back soon. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back soon. Thank you.